All right, y'all. Welcome back to this week's episode. Still getting ready for my second interview. All right. So shout out to EK. I'm a huge fan of yours. Don't come for me. But what y'all want yap about, bitch? So I guess I can really just introduce myself, especially if you made it this far. Who am I and why do you give a fuck? You really don't ever have to give a fuck. But I do want to introduce myself. So my name is Leandria Coates. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I have uh, a younger brother and a older sister, and then I have a little niece. My parents are still married. Um, if it's happily married, it depends on the day of the week. Y'all see me record with my dad. We also working on our own platform, the G Code. Y'all see me post on that as well, so y'all make sure y'all follow them. So random. So since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a fucking lawyer. And so long story short, I came with my as a kid. We traveled a lot, like with the National Baptist Convention. If you a pastor's kid, so I'm a pastor's daughter. And so as a part of the convention, you go from state to state looking for for different conferences. And so what I didn't know when I was growing up is that my parents ain't had that much money. Like I ain't never know, but they didn't. But we used to travel to these conventions like XYZ. And so we came to North Carolina one time. And when we came to North Carolina, I fell in love with it. I was a very sickly child just growing up. So when I came to North Carolina, I fell in love with it. I was like, I'm gonna grow up here, I'm gonna move here and go to law school here. And I was 13 years old when that happened, when I said that. By the time I became old enough to get into law school, there was a law school in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina in 2023, and that really started my career. Well, I would say that started my career journey, but I've also worked for like, so before that, like I've done a lot of stuff. I'm a hustler, baby. I've been working since I was 16 years old. My first job was probably working with my godfather selling T-shirts on the track and field. Shout out to my parrain. But I started selling T-shirts, bitch. I've been in sales most of my life, ironically. So I worked at the Cinnamon Glazed Nuts. I worked at Sonic, bitch. I worked at Aeropasta, Hollister, Abercrombie Beach. Not Abercrombie. I don't think I ever worked at Abercrombie. I worked at PS Kids. That's the kids store by Aeropasta. So I've been like in sales most of my life. But so I went to college at ULM and got my undergrad degree in criminal justice and a minor in political science. If you know anything, it ain't nothing that you could do with a motherfucking criminal justice degree, bitch. So, um, so I wanted to go to law school, but when I was in undergrad, I played around. Like I enjoyed undergrad. I had the true undergrad experience, and I really didn't take life seriously in undergrad. I didn't understand what doors could open for me, so I didn't really have good grades to get into law school. So I applied for like Southern Law School, and I definitely didn't get in first. And so the school that I went to had something called the AMPA program, where you take a class and you basically have to test into law school. So I tested into law school and I got there, and like I was on a lot of trial advocacy honor boards, but I definitely fucked around in law school. I don't even know really how I graduated. It really, really, really was the grace of God, because I can't tell you how many books I picked up and read, but I partied and I was on all of these boards. I was on all of the honor boards, even with my sucky grades. I was a trial team captain for the Black Law Students Association. I was the boss of secretary. So I did all of the things. And so one of the things that I didn't know is all of my experiences would kind of aid me in life at some point. So I graduated from law school in like 2.5 years, because if you know anything, my law school closed down, and like I didn't realize it then, but was a seer, and I could definitely see that shit happening. So because I could fucking see that shit happening, I was like, let me get out of here. And plus, I had to take $60,000 worth of loans out every year. Yes, bitch, I am poor. I want to tell you, I'm poor. Like I owe Sally Mae a lot, bitch. I hope I'm in the one of the chosen few that Biden decided to give some money to. I ain't lying to you. Um, so I graduated from law school early, but like I wasn't first generation me because my sister actually went to law school as well. But we was kind of first generation, so I really didn't understand the bar. I was very green. Like my parents, like I tell people, I'm a suburb girl with a hood mentality because my parents grew up in the hood, so they had that mentality and they kind of passed it along to us. And I say the hood mentality is just kind of a hustle mentality. So I really was kind of green to school because my parents they graduated from college, but they didn't graduate from college until after me and my big sister graduated from college. Oh yay! Until me and my big sister graduated from college, so I really ain't have nobody teach me the way. Wasn't nobody really in corporate America. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? So I get to Charlotte, North Carolina by myself. I'm the first one in my family to just really leave and shit like that. So crazy. It was all real. It was all real interesting and hard. But I was determined not to go back to Baton Rouge. So I had got into some really bad domestic violence relationships. It's just like being a young girl in the world, experiencing life. You got, but all of my relationships, I want to say they really, really. Let me go cut my arm. I want to say they really, really taught me something. Like I got, like if you in the neighborhood, like it's a whole thing. Like you might have to go back to YouTube and watch from the beginning. But my exes, like I might talk shit about them, but they all taught me. They helped me grow up. They taught me about finances. They taught me about people in the world. They just taught me things that my parents didn't teach me because, like, they just was parents. They was worried about supplying supplying all of our needs, bitch. So, and some kind of way. So I again, like I told you, I end up in this like in law school, like right in between when you wait for your bar results um and give me a sec. So when you wait for your bar results, like there's this stuff called doc review, and in the industry that is frowned upon. Like you don't want to be a lawyer doing doc review because you didn't go to law school just to fucking um review documents. But I'll tell you this. I remember when I was in law school, I worked for the DA. So before I got to law school, like I said, I worked for the House of Representatives. Among other things, I worked for the Office of Public Defenders. And then while in law school, I got the clerk with the DA's office and things. Well, I got to actually try cases as a DA or with the DA's office in North Carolina. And I kind of learned then and there that justice is in the hands of whoever sits on the bench that day. So I came to law school. I was one of those people who came to law school to actually change the fucking world. And I realized that changing the world wasn't going to look how I wanted it to look by becoming an attorney. So I was like, all right, let's find another fucking route. So then the hustle began because I was just trying to survive. Like, so I didn't pass the bar twice. I took it twice, didn't pass it twice. So I had to find other jobs. And so first in my head, I was just like, all I can do is legal stuff. But then that legal stuff wasn't paying the bills. So I went and worked I got fired from so many jobs, bitch. I got fired from like 6 jobs in like 6 months. I worked for the airport. I worked for and it's so crazy because my hair used to be a whole bunch of radical colors. Like if you know me from the jump, I'm always liable to have something crazy in my hair. So I remember interviewing for a law firm, and just like this guy in the last episode, like they told me I was too much. My personality was too much. I was too smart. I was either too smart or too dumb. I didn't speak the way that they wanted me to. I didn't act. I didn't look like what they thought an attorney should look like. So so a lot of times that failed, and just so happy. So going back, and now I'm fucking here. Now if we go back to the very beginning of the complete story of I got a job as a doc reviewer, and then I put in some applications to become an admin because my job wasn't because admin doc review wasn't steady enough for me, and then climbed the corporate ladder, and so now I'm here. But what I learned was everything that I have ever been through prepared me for this role, because this role would be essentially helping or coaching people through the career process after they've graduated from law school. And if anybody knows about the career process, it's me, because I've been through it, I've lived through it, I've succeeded through it, and I failed through it. I've given up things, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm really, really excited for this. And I didn't realize it, but at the last interview, I was like, because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be good enough for this. Like, I don't know. But in my last role, a part of the things that I did on the side was recruit people for to come work at our company. So I used to go to colleges and and I was the ambassador of our internship program, and I used to recruit people to work for us, and like I used to run the internship program. So like I've been doing everything, and so that's a message too. Sometimes what you go through in life is setting you up for what you're about to go to in life, and you don't even know it, and you don't even know it. So, all right, guys, I'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, bitch.